Hamas. Now, first meeting between Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, Hamas deputy commander Saleh al-Arouri and Palestinian Islamic Jihad leader Ziad has happened in Beirut. Now, Iranian media has also posted pictures of all of them together coming, and this meeting took place 19 days after the war started between both the countries. Now, according to the Iran media, three terror leaders agreed to continue coordination on a daily basis and discussed ways to achieve victory over Israel. Now, these are the latest inputs coming in where Iran is supposedly extending support to the Hamas group. Now, Arouri is a Hamas terror leader linked to the 2014 kidnapping and murder of 3 Israelis, which set off a 50-day war. Now, he has often traveled between Qatar, Turkey and Lebanon. Now, this is an open support showdown by Iran to Hamas, and clearly all of this suggests that they are behind many logistical support to the Hamas during this war. Now, Iran has built an axis of resistance, preparing various groups for a broader war against the United States and Israel. Now, in Yemen, the Iran-blocked Houthis launched missiles and drones aimed at Israeli on 18th of October. Now, it is also believed that the attack was intercepted by a US warship in the Red Sea. Iran has encouraged its proxies to attack Israel from multiple fronts in the past. Now, these are the latest inputs that we are getting in where Iran is extending support to Hamas. Now, joining us on the broadcast is my colleague Anand Narasimhan. A very good morning, Anand. The recent Israeli-Hamas conflict has largely affected the regional dynamics in the Middle East. Iran extending support to Hamas. How will this particularly impact the power struggle in the region?
Well, morning to you, Kuhina, and to our viewers. This is just confirmation of what Israel has claimed all along. Israel has claimed that Iran has been directly involved and it has supported the Hamas. It has enabled the Hamas. And these pictures and this meeting happening just a day after Turkey and also came out in support of the Hamas. So there is an axis within the OIC itself which is wanting to wrest control away from Saudi Arabia, UAE and some of the other nations which have been dominant within the OIC, and this axis includes Iran, Turkey and also Qatar. Now, in this case, with these terrorist outfits getting funding, there has been open allegation and claim that this has been somewhere facilitated by Qatar, where there is a lot of Qatari money that has come in, and the arming, enabling and training of these terrorist elements has been done on Iranian soil, and the direct involvement of the Iranian state is something which has been claimed. And we can see the escalation happening. So the cover fire to Hamas, even as Israel continues its pounding of the Gaza Strip, and especially the areas, installations where the Hamas are currently present, is coming in from the Houthis and from the Hezbollah. There have been some counter strikes even on in Lebanon and in Syria, with the Aleppo airport also being shut down when strikes have happened there. So there is serious issue about escalation. The Wall Street Journal also saying that the ground offensive of the IDF has been held back just for the US forces to be able to get into the region, to be able to provide air cover and also put in place missile defense systems. So just like the interceptions happened, like you mentioned, on the 18th of October with the Houthis from Yemen trying to fire missiles towards Israel, and that was intercepted by a US warship, there will be more NATO deployment in Cyprus and in and around the Red Sea to be able to give more cover. On the other hand, there is also huge amount of back-channel discussions which are going on, where it is being impressed upon these elements, and especially Iran and nations like Qatar and Turkey, that they should try and not enable these elements, and to try and restrict this entire conflict only within the Gaza Strip. If there has to be a two-state solution that eventually has to be arrived at, which is something which is something that is actively on the table, and that's being spoken about very actively, not just by America but also by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who have all backed a two-state solution to end this conflict. Israel, on the other hand, has said that unless the Hamas infrastructure is totally demolished, and totally brought down, they will not rest, because this will continue to happen. Israel's defense is that they vacated the Gaza Strip, and look what has happened once they vacated the Gaza Strip, totally came out of the Gaza Strip, and what's happened. On the other hand, the Palestine narrative is being conflated with the Hamas narrative, with the Hamas, and one is being seen as an extension of the other, which is something which world leaders are trying to clearly delineate, saying that Hamas is a terrorist outfit, whereas the Palestine issue of a two-state issue is a political one which should be sorted peacefully through negotiations and talks. So this is where the lines get a little blurred, and with Iran's open backing of the Houthis, the Hezbollah, and also the Hamas, it just shows that there is a larger geopolitical game, and in this, Iran is not going to back off, and it's going to openly use these elements to try and settle scores with the US and with Israel. So there is a religious angle to it, with the Abrahamic faiths in conflict with each other, the Christians and the Jews on the one hand, and the Muslim world or Islam on the other hand. That's the religious angle of it. But the larger aspect is the humanitarian crisis that will be caused. The question that's being asked is, how is it that the Palestinian people, if they do not back the Hamas, have allowed the Hamas to perpetrate and create 500 kilometers worth of tunnels under the Gaza buildings and the structures that are visible? So how is this underlying network, how was it built and created? Who funded them? How did the Hamas amass about 130,000 rockets and missile systems? How did they get so armed and so well trained that they could enter Israel and commit the kind of butchery that was there? What is the level of radicalization that is being allowed and that is being subscribed? Why are the Palestinian people not condemning the actions of the Hamas, and why was it celebrated? Why was and why is it that the Hamas has got more than 200 people as hostage, and these are people belonging to more than 36 nations? So these questions remain.
Right. Thank you so much, Anand, for all those details. We'll keep coming back to the story as we get more inputs. Well, it's official now that Iran is extending support to Hamas. With all of that information